Views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. Before we get to those callers in the second half of the show, welcome everyone to Angel Healing House Radio with me, Candy Hough. Now, I want to start off by saying, how are you feeling this week? Then the reason I ask this is because last week we experienced a killer full moon, and it was a killer because it was making many people irritable, full of anxiety, very more emotional than usual, and some people were experiencing extreme fatigue and interrupted sleep patterns. And as we've gotten further away from those energies of that full moon, and we're getting closer to the new moon on July 23rd, our spirits and our physicality are feeling lighter. We're feeling more lifted. In essence, we're just feeling much better. This upcoming new moon energies are dramatically different, and they're fresh, and they might even bring in things to you that are surprising. So in many ways, the Posse of Angels are saying we can almost expect the unexpected. And like with all new moons, make sure you set your intentions, your desires, and your wishes for this new moon will be like striking a match and having the light ignite our intentions coming into physical manifestation. And if you are one that, excuse me, that you have, that you set your intentions and your desires on every new moon, the Posse of Angels are saying we are not the same people that we were a month ago, let alone 3 months ago or 6 months ago or years ago or even a couple of days ago, as time is speeding up and we are shifting so rapidly. So get out that pen and paper and write out those new or polish off those intentions and those desires for the new moon coming up. And I've spoken, and I would spoken about this on previous radio programs, about how once you have your list of intentions and desires, you can go out under that new moon and you can speak your intentions, close your eyes, bathe in the energies of the new moon, and feel that you're already living that life of those intentions which you've set. Now, there's also a reminder if you missed last week's program, we spoke about how to raise our energies, our energetic vibrational frequency to be able to connect with the angels. And like all Angel Healing House radio shows, if you did miss it, you can go on my host page on Transformation Talk Radio, and you can listen to all the replays there as they are all archived. Or perhaps if you'd like to watch the show, you can go on Epic Living TV, and they are all there. You know, like many of my topics on my radio program, today's program, which is entitled Angel Signs, Part 1, was inspired by a client that said to me, "You are so fortunate that you have the Posse of Angels and that they seem to always bring you very clear signs and messages on how to step forward or um, or what to be aware of in your life." And this person said, "I wish that I could be lucky to have a posse of angels like you and be given angel signs as well." Well, I told this person that perceiving angel signs has really nothing to do with being fortunate or lucky. If that were the case, all we would need to do would be to carry around a four-leaf clover or a rabbit's foot or perhaps a horseshoe in our pockets. But her comment did make me wonder, why do I receive constant messages from the Posse of Angels, as they are always sending me signs, and yet others who do set this intention hardly seem to get any signs from the angels? And before I could ponder any more about this subject, in came the Posse of Angels, and they replied, "Well, there are several reasons for this. The first one is that I have been focusing, my number one priority for the last 14 years has been focusing on my relationship with the Posse of Angels. And we now have a dear, cherished, very deep relationship. You know, when we are laser beam focused on anything, it starts to expand. It grows exponentially, and it increases in energy. And so this relationship, because of the abundance of energy and time and love that I put onto it, and it's been poured into it, this is the reason why the Posse of Angels are so in my face and prevalent in my life. Now, the second reason that I can easily discern the angel sign is that I only live in the present moment. As I've said many times before on my radio programs, most people keep replaying the past, and they keep doing this in order to be right, or perhaps in order to blame someone, or they want to change the past, which is all impossible because the past is past. Or they worry and stress about some imagined future, and they're not living in the now. Continuing on, the Posse of Angels said, "Angels are God's appointed messengers, and they have no other purpose than to guide us, protect us, love us, and send us sign." You know, I've done other radio programs on the afterlife and near-death experiences, and it's true. When we're crossed over, whether we are an angel or not, well, we don't have a body and we don't have to tend it and feed it and water it and wipe it and exfoliate it and exercise it or not exercise it or anything we have to do with a physical body. And this frees up so much time for the angels to just be at our beck and call to send us those signs. They are emphasizing that not just myself and a particular few, but that everyone has their own angels and that they listen to people's prayers and wishes, and they're always sending us signs on how to advance beneficially toward the fulfillment of our desires. But most people are so busy pushing their agenda and on the expectations and the attachments as to how those prayers are answered that they completely miss the angel signs on how God wishes for them to advance forward in their lives and to be able to pick up those messages and those signs and to be able to take inspired action towards them. So many times, the signs with the angels can be very subtle at first. Now, the Posse of Angels do this in order to test our muscle of intuition, to see if we're listening closely to the messages we feel in our hearts and whether we'll pick up these subtle cues or not. And if we do not pick up something the first time, the Posse of Angels are guaranteeing us that your angels will give you signs in more blatantly obvious ways until the penny drops and we finally get it. Believe me, before I was 100% in tune with the Posse of Angels, they would almost put the sign right at my feet in order for me to trip over it so that I would not miss it. Another client told me that she had longed for many years to meet a man and have a cherished, loving relationship, but as yet she was still single. On a trip home to visit her family, she picked up a magazine in an airplane, and she flicked through the pages, and she came across an advertisement for a dating company called It's Just Lunch. The more she read about it, the more she received goosebumps and shivers, and she felt that this was a sign. Finishing with the magazine, she opened the magazine that she bought in the airline terminal, and there on the page in front of her was another ad for the dating service. It's Just Lunch. She then read about the terms and the conditions and the price of this membership, and then she wasn't so sure whether to join or not. Soon after arriving home, she had a session with me and asked me what my impression was about receiving these signs about this dating service. Well, I told her that she had indeed been sent angel signs, but that it was not to join the dating company. I explained to her that she had been spending an inordinate amount of time inside. She was writing a book and she was trying to finish it by a certain date. And she had not allowed herself to engage with the outside world for a very long time. By taking herself out and showing God and the angels that she was doing her part to engage with the world and be open and be seen by just having lunch out in the public, the angels would have more scope and certainly more possibilities to organize a connection with a prospective relationship. Now, this is she went down to her favorite outdoor cafe that she had not been to in a very long time. And while standing in line, she struck up a conversation with the gentleman in front of her. And as synchronicity would have it, last time I heard, they were still dating. Sometimes the sign of it's just lunch means exactly that. You just need to go out and engage with life, perhaps have lunch out somewhere. Be open to receive in order for life to be able to engage with your wishes. Now, with the topic of it being angel signs, the Posse of Angels would like to pull back the curtain, perhaps, and reveal some of the ways that they desperately try to convey messages to help us in our lives. Firstly, the Posse of Angels really do want to remind all of us how difficult it is for them to communicate verbally to most people. Now, this is because the angels exist in a higher dimensional frequency that often is not in alignment with many people's lower energetic frequencies. Those people who are clairaudient, like myself, have attuned themselves to the angels' high vibrations. And in this way, it's kind of like a dog being able to hear high pitched sounds that our human ears cannot hear. It's just simply, it's not a matter of superiority. It's just a matter of not being on the same vibrational wavelength. It's like tuning into a radio station. In fact, in last week's program, if you're wondering how to increase your vibrational frequency to be on the same level as the angels, in the last week's program, which was entitled How to Connect to Angels, we spoke about how we can all raise our frequencies to be higher, to be lighter, and to be more clear. So in order to convey messages other than audibly to the majority of people, they send us signs in other ways that other humans cannot discern. So, with that being said, with the advent of enormous popularity of film and television and the internet, humans now mainly have been programmed to get their information visually. And some of the ways that the angels impart visual clues to us are through showing us images. For instance, did you know that the animal and the insect world hold wonderful treasures of clues? And it's like a map they show us for us to receive insights and answers to prayers and questions that we may be holding in our heart. For instance, butterflies. When people see butterflies, they signify some sort of transformation, and they often herald a time in which transformation is going to happen in one's life, or perhaps you're going through that now. Butterflies so often herald a message from our loved ones in spirit who have crossed over and made their own transformation from the physical back to our one true home in spirit, to the non-physical. You know, when I see, let's say, when I see an eagle, for me, it's always a symbol of freedom and flying high. It could be a message to surrender and also allow yourself to let go of restrictions in your life. In fact, the Posse of Angels is saying that most birds are messengers that remind us to allow our spirits to soar and to not restrict ourselves. One of my favorite birds is the hummingbird, which signifies joy. Now, let's take another animal. For instance, when we see deer, it's a reminder to be gentle and kind with ourselves and to go with the flow of life. In other words, stop controlling and pushing your agenda onto life, um, and also pushing the river of life. And many people try to go in the opposite direction as to how the angels show us the steps or the signs to go in a certain direction. And many times people don't do this because it doesn't make sense. It's certainly not logical, and there's nothing rational about this. But then again, miracles are not. The foundation for miracles is not one of rationale, nor is it of logic. So then there are some images that cause us to absolutely repel, like spiders. Spider is a wonderful animal totem as it reminds us to weave our dreams into reality by passionately creating, not creating a book because we want to be successful or we want to make lots of money. That may happen as a result of passionately creating the book, but that's not the reason why we create. We create for creation's sake. And Spider could be telling us that perhaps we have forgotten our creativity and to honor it and to think about where we could be more creative in our lives. When I see a dragonfly, I know it is all about illusion and change. You know, dragonflies may remind us to take inspired action to the changes that we desire to make. You know, things like we may be talking about it or speaking about it, but make the change to do more exercise for our health. Make the change to make those updates to our websites, to look after our diets more carefully, or make time for more meditative and peaceful practices. Every animal and every insect that comes into our lives truly has a special message for us, and it's not there by happen chance. A great book to use as a reference to find out more about animal totems is a book entitled Medicine Cards, and it's by Jamie Sams, Sams, and David Carson. And while we spoke about the meanings of some animals and insects, there are other angel signs that they send to convey to us messages. Seeing feathers, especially white feathers, is a symbol of the presence of angels. And while white feathers denotes connection with the celestial realms of heaven, it's also about purification, peace, and cleansing. But if you see another colored feather, it does have significance as well. When we see a blue feathers, the color blue is all about communication. Perhaps you will be receiving an important information through text, via email, or maybe phone. Another color that we could see with feathers, we could be seeing yellow feathers. Yellow is the color of sunny, bright, cheerful things, and maybe to find more ways that we can be cheerful in our lives. And also, it's the color of the solar plexus, and that's where we get our gut feelings. And maybe we need to put more of our attention, if you're holding the thought of something that is concerning you, and you see the color yellow, it's prominent, yellow feather, maybe maybe your angels are saying to you, don't overthink it, but go with your gut feelings. So different feathers, different colored feathers could have different meanings. Another sign is rainbows. Rainbows are also an indication of clearing and cleansing and washing away the old so that the new and the fresh can come in. Maybe it is time. Maybe it is time to start something new, to clean and clear things out, to give yourself a new beginning and a new something which you can move forward with your life. Now, the Posse of Angels are saying that the important part of any image is how it relates to you and what you are going through in any present moment, that you can connect that image with what you're thinking about or what you're going through. Now, as well as images, the angels send us signs through the sounds we hear. I remember that one of my clients was really quite distraught, having had her mother cross over several months before, and she never was on good speaking terms with her mother, and she was very upset that she didn't have any closure on that, and didn't have a good relationship with her mother when she crossed over. And I said that there is no reason that she can't connect with her mother more easily now, as her mother had dropped all her drama, her attachment to her ego, and she was very open. Her mother is very open now to be able to speak with her. So I just said to this client to be open and see the signs that her mother sends her. Well, the next session, my client came in and her face was beaming. She happily told me that she listened to an oldies radio station, and she kept hearing over and over and over Dean Martin songs. And Dean Martin was her mother's favorite singer. In addition, not only when she was at home, but when she walked into stores, it was uncanny how many times she heard Dean Martin songs playing. So do pay particular attention to what songs appear in your reality, the lyrics to those songs. What I do is when I get into my car and I turn on my car, I am to pay particular attention to the first song that I hear. Now, in addition to messages in images and music, one of our strongest senses is our sense of smell. Sometimes all we need to do is smell a scent, and immediately we get a flashback of a former time, an event, and person. And I've spoken on numerous radio programs how I connect so beautifully with my grandmother, Sarah. She crossed over when I was 8 years old, yet we speak to each other quite a lot. And when she comes in, I smell her lilac perfume. And on the opposite scale of beautiful scents, my ex-father-in-law, when he comes in, I always smell the scent of cigar smoke because he was a very big smoker. So when you get the sense of inhaling roses, roses denote love. Lavender is calm and tranquility in our lives. The smell of strawberries denotes new beginnings, and chocolate is a scent of celebrations. So there are so many different ways that we can connect images and scents and sounds, and that the angels are trying to get our attention. Also, another thing that I love doing is I love looking at the license plates in front of me because they hold such information. Shortly after my dad crossed over, I was traveling along the highway, and a car indicated and went in front of me. And I was thinking about my dad in that moment. And on the license plate, I kid you not, was XO, XO, hugs, kisses, and then it had a heart, and then it had LEN, and my dad's name was Leonard. So be present. Be only in the present moment, and you will be amazed at what extraordinary signs the angels will send you. And there is so much more to speak about, but we're coming up to a break, and then we're going to take calls from listeners. But next week, we will be speaking about part 2 of Angel Signs. So hang on, everyone. We'll go to a short break. And you're listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. And I'll see you after the break.
Take your own journey with the angels with Claire Candy Hough's Heaven Sent Guided Angel Meditation CD. Letting go of concerns and living in the now. This beautiful CD walks listeners through practical exercises to help free them from the burdens, worries, and concerns of daily life.
Walking a quarter of the way across the bridge, you see a bright, emerald green light and sense a loving presence. This is Archangel Raphael's green healing energies, nourishing and revitalizing you. Take a moment now to bathe in this green healing light.
Giving you much more than just relaxation and stress release, this wonderfully narrated CD provides vivid visualization, soothing and inspiring music, and an angel's choir that will bring you peace, clarity, and a newfound awareness. Visit angelhealinghouse.com today. To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough. Angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. Just a reminder that Angel Healing House Radio can be heard every week on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on this lovely home of Transformation Talk Radio. And also, just a reminder, I do speak a lot about my two novels, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and the sequel to that, which is my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In. And a lot of times I don't neglect, but I fail to speak about my beautiful book, Angels of Faith. And Angels of Faith, it's in the guise of a children's book, but its message is very deep, and it awakens us to the fact that we do not die, that we are divine and eternal, and it's got profound messages in it for children of all ages. This book, along with One True Home and I Am an Angelic Walk-In, can be purchased on my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, or it can be purchased on Amazon as well. So let's pick up the cards and let's get ready to take some of those phone calls. Our first caller is from Beth. Beth from Wood Ranch. You're on the line with Claire Candy Hough and Angel Healing House Radio. Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am very well. And have you noticed angel signs in your life?
Yes. I get messages all the time, synchronicities, but I was just wondering if there was any big messages that are wanting to come my way from the angels.
Okay. While I'm shuffling, the angels want you, well, the Posse of Angels are giving you, they're giving you a mortarboard hat and a graduation gown, and they're handing you a parchment like a diploma. And in the image, they're saying you've graduated. And you've not only just graduated, and some people might scrape by, but you have graduated as a valedictorian. You've graduated with flying colors because of the lessons, of the very, very difficult lessons in forgiveness and judgment and in unconditional love. And you have done such a wonderful job in bringing so much in your life back into divine alignment. And they are really so proud of you. And they are saying that you should take time out for no other reason but to give yourself credit for the extraordinary job that you've done. They're also saying that there is a book which needs to come out, and they're saying that this book is a gift to humanity, and they're saying that you should focus your time and attention on the bringing forth of this wonderful creative effort, because it's going to serve you beautifully, and it's going to serve others, and others are going to be so inspired by this story that it's going to help so many people. So let's go to the cards and see what comes out. Okay.
Oh.
First card you get is the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is that knight. He's hardworking. He's diligent. He's determined. There we go. For those who were watching it on Facebook Live TV, there is our knight. This one is out of all the knights, he's a slow plotter. That's what he is. And what the Posse of Angels are saying, what you do now, not what you've done before, but what you create now will take on, it's like longevity. They're saying a year from now, or 2 years from now, you will be reaping the benefits of it. But they're saying, and the abundance and the prosperity from it. But they're saying that with diligence and with attention, this book, that the next book that you're going to be writing, will start to come out, and to just keep focusing on it. Just keep focusing your attention on it. That's the bigger picture. Oh my gosh, the next card from you is a major arcana card. It's the World card. And this is the beginning. It's you completed another book, but they're saying, uh, don't worry about that book. Do the next thing that God told you to do, and write this other book, and this will give you the world. They're saying this book in particular will give you the world. And the third card coming out for you, wow, you got two cards about new beginnings. This is the death card, and you have completely brought closure to other areas of your life, and now you're ready to step off into this new beginning. So this is really a very timely reading, and it gives you great confirmation that you need to be diligent. On the first card, we see wheat, and we see the turtle and the slow growing wheat, and turtle is not the fastest, not the fastest of animals, but certainly in the Aesop's fable, the turtle did win out over the hare because he plodded along and he just kept going. And that's what they want you to do with this book. So I hope that's been helpful for you, Beth.
Wow, thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.
You too. Lots of love to you. Have a beautiful day.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, Beth, so much. And that goes for many of us. The messages I often say are not just for those individual callers, as I hear from so many people that say, I didn't call in because I get so many messages from other people's callers as well. Keep creating, not create for creation's sake, but when we create enthusiastically and passionately and excitedly, then that abundance makes us feel alive, and then the universe will send us connections and opportunities. Don't worry where it's going. Don't worry who's going to see it. Don't worry what's going to happen to it. You create for creation's sake, and then you let it go into the universe where it's supposed to go. Let's go to our next caller. We have Esther. Esther's calling in from Merrick, New York. 516. Esther, you're on the line with myself, Claire Candy Hough, the wonderful Posse of Angels, as well on Angel Healing House Radio. How are you today, Esther?
I am good. Thank you for taking my call. I'm actually very new to this program. My daughter, Stephanie Molry, has been listening and telling me about you for a while, and I always felt that when the time was right, we would end up connecting, so I guess today's the time is right.
Today is
I learned
the day.
a lot just from listening in a very short period of time, I have to tell you.
That's wonderful.
So I think I'm going to get a lot out of it, and I actually will look back at some of your other past recordings as well, because I think I can really learn from the journey I seem to be on at the moment.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, when the student's ready, the master appears, and by you finding your way to Angel Healing House Radio and myself, it just shows me that you're open to receive, and that's such an exciting place to be, because the saying is, "Come to me as a child," and when children learn how to speak foreign, different languages, and they have no problem, because they're open, they're excited, they parrot it back, they don't worry about prepositions or adjectives or verbs or anything like that, and they are just open vessels to be able to receive. And when you do go to the archive shows, just scroll through them, and they all have different topics, all different titles. And when you feel those goosebumps, when you feel that shiver, when you feel that excited feeling, whenever you feel that, step forward, because that means there's some information for you to garner from that. So that's wonderful, Esther. I'm so happy for you, and you're going to discover so much. And the Posse of Angels, here they come. They're saying, Esther, beloved, actually they said, beloved Esther. They said, keep being curious. Keep being curious, because that's the way we get so much more out of life. when we discover, when we're curious, not when we're analytical and we're trying to figure life out, but it's when we really do allow ourselves to be curious, to experience, and to follow the signs that the angels send us. So did you have a particular question today, Esther?
Yes, I'm going through a transition professionally. I lost my position, and I'm at an older age with a certain level of experience, which makes the new next step a little harder to find. And I'm not going to lie that there's a sense of a small amount of worry in that, although I'm intentionally trying to stay in the present and enjoy the freedom that has been given to me now, doesn't mean that I'm not scared. So in the conversations, I've been trying to stay open and trying to be creative and trying to open doors at the same time, because I don't have a long period of time before economically this is going to become a problem. Mm-hmm. So that, I think, is one of the reasons that's propelled me here, because I don't know how to recognize my angels or my signs or that I'm doing the right thing. But I did pick up from you just now that my sense of curiosity and my excitement for what's new seems to be what leads me. So I'm trying to find out, am I down the right path? Am I going to find work, relatively soon? These are the things that scare me.
Okay. So the first thing that the Posse of Angels are saying to you, Esther, is that job had to end because it was a coat that has grown too small for you. With your shift in consciousness, with your being open to receive more, and not restricting yourself, your soul wants to expand. Your soul wants to grow. And this former job that you were in, I don't know how long you were in there for, but it was past its use by date.
I agree.
And the ending of it was a blessing. So the first thing that they want you to do is they want you to get quiet and close your eyes, maybe light a candle, and say, thank you, God, so much for taking this out of my life. Because if you bless this, then you will be blessed with more. See, most people hang on to what they have and they go, oh, I don't like this job, or it's past its use by date, or I feel like I could do better, but I won't release it until something new comes along. And that's not how life works. Life works that we need to have the faith of, the expression is the faith of a mustard seed, to let go of what we have, and then we open our hand in order to receive and be open to the way that God and the angels wish for our soul to grow, for it to be most beneficial for us. And we can't receive if we're holding on to what we have. So the first thing they want you to do, you have an exercise to do, is to bless. Bless the fact that this job is now, what you were doing is now out of your life, so that you can receive the new. Okay, you have more homework, Esther. Before I even choose another card, they want you to do this. Every day, they want you to make at least 10 or 15 minutes where you sit down, you light a candle, you drop down to your heart. And I know this sounds silly, but they want you to say, thank you for my new job. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I cannot believe this has happened. I get to use my gifts, my talents, my abilities, and I am financially remunerated. I get to work with like-minded people who are also shifting, and they're curious and they're open, they're loving, and I get to do this in a beautiful location, in a wonderful atmosphere, and I am so blessed. And they want you to say this as if it's already happened, and feel in your heart so abundant and so grateful and appreciative that this is yours already. Because the Posse of Angels are pointing to across the veil. Okay, they're pointing to heaven, and they're saying, we have heard your prayers and your intentions, your wishes and desires, your pleading or your begging. We've heard all of this. And we've created it for you on the etheric plane across the veil. But in order for you to receive it, your vibrational frequency has to be that of a high vibrational frequency. It has to be one of gratitude and appreciation. And so when we thank the universe, God and the angels, when we thank them for sending us this job as if we all are already in it, and we are so happy and exuberant and excited, that's the energy that will bring the opportunities and connections closer to us to present this to us. So do this every day, 10 or 15 minutes. Don't fake it. Feel as if it's already yours. You don't even have to know what this is. Don't limit yourself as to what this could be. You know,
Okay.
Quite frankly, Esther, I'm going to be 63 in October, and I haven't even gotten started. Age is not a determinant.
I'd like to believe that's true for me as well. I agree. I'm 61, so I like to believe I'm just getting started too.
Okay, if you come to the universe as a child and you show the universe that age is not a determinant, gender is not a determinant, race, color, creed, whatever it is, you're not to anything to do anything at any age. And all you're here is to experience, to grow, and to enjoy your beautiful life. And if you open up to receive that, absolute miracles will happen for you. Let's go to the cards and see what comes out for our lovely Esther. I get such a good feeling around this because of what you're going to be doing and how you're going to shift your energies within yourself. Okay, the first card that comes out is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card that shows us a gentleman high on a cliff, and he's overlooking the ocean. What he's doing is through his vision, through his creativity, and through his skills, what he's doing is he's creating uh, things so that the universe will bring him the fulfillment of his intentions. So that's all you need to do. Don't push yourself. Let the angels send you signs. I mean, you could be on a bus somewhere or a subway. You could overhear a conversation. You could be in the dentist's office and reading a magazine, and synchronistically you see an article about, some company that is hiring. You could overhear. I mean, I have had experiences where I'm standing in a grocery store line, and there's a muffled conversation, and the part of the conversation that suddenly got louder was buy a lottery ticket. And then it was muffled. So I went straight there from the grocery store. I bought a lottery ticket and I won $100. And I needed that $100. This was years ago. I mean, I really, really needed that. So be present. That's what this sign is telling you. Know that you have skills and you have talents, you have creative vision, and that all you need to do is allow the universe to give to you. The second one that comes out is the Three of Pentacles. This is a great reading, by the way, because this card is about being remunerated for your skills and your talents and your abilities. Somebody out there with you saying, thank you for this wonderful opportunity or job or career, they're just waiting to promote and support you. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for you to raise your vibrational frequency. And the next one, oh my gosh, if you were a lottery ticket, I would buy you, Esther, because this card is the Chariot. The Chariot is about being promoted and supported and recognized, and things moving rapidly. So would you promise me something, Esther? Would you promise me to call into the radio show and tell me when this happens? Not if it happens, but when this happens. Would you promise me that?
Absolutely. And I will actually take your directions and light the candle and do the 10 to 15 minute meditation and in gratitude, because I do believe in gratitude. So, and my daughter, thankfully, thank God for her, has been surrounding me with those kind of messages as well. So I'm blessed by that.
How wonderful. Well, myself and the Posse of Angels are sending you so much love and so many blessings. And I won't say good luck, because you are luck already. You don't need luck. You just need to change your vibrational frequencies from worry to one of gratitude and appreciation. And wishing you an absolutely heavenly day. Take care.
And thank you for the time.
Thank you, Esther. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Esther. And for anybody that's waiting and wishing and wanting, you can do this little exercise. You can do this for relationships. Thank you for this magnificent relationships. Thank you for my great health. Thank you for my work. You can do this already, because gratitude and appreciation are two of the highest forms of healing. Let's go to our third caller. Let's squeak her in. It is Esther's daughter, Stephanie. Stephanie, welcome. Welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. Hello, Stephanie?
Stephanie, you are on the air.
We don't seem to have... Hello?
Hi, you got a different Stephanie.
Oh, it's a different Stephanie, because Esther, isn't that strange? Because Esther kept on saying, my daughter Stephanie, my daughter Stephanie. I assumed it was you. We have about 3 minutes left, Stephanie. What is your question today for the Posse of Angels? What is your question today?
I'm open. Just whatever they want to say real quick.
Okay, all right. Let me see. Let's go to the cards. And I know that you are open to receive angel signs in all numbers of ways on our previous conversations. Let's see. Let's just do a quick general reading for our lovely Stephanie in New York. Okay, 1, 2, 3. First card that's coming out for you is the Hierophant card. And the Hierophant card is the card, in this instance, it's saying everything is going to plan. Stop worrying. Everything is working out exactly as it's divinely meant to work out. So all you need to, so you can lift this burden of feeling like something different should be happening, and you should just be grateful and appreciative and say thank you. Thank you for everything working out exactly the way it needs to work out for me. The next is the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups is saying that that you will be receiving some information, perhaps a proposal, perhaps it doesn't have to be a proposal as a proposal for marriage, but the Knight of Cups is about receiving information. And also it's about you feeling so much better, because you now know that everything is happening to divine plan. And there's nothing else that should be happening now. Absolutely nothing else. And the next card is your major arcana card, which is the Magician. And they're saying you have all the tools that you need in this present moment to be able to manifest exactly the life that you wish to live. And we do that by lifting worry, burden, stress, all of those things off of us. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I've got to close the show now. Wishing you so much love, Stephanie.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. You too.
And that just about wraps the show up for today. Thank you all, my callers. Thank you to the listeners for tuning in to Angel Healing House Radio. Perhaps you're also watching the show on Facebook Live TV, and that can be done through the Transformation Talk Radio Facebook page, or perhaps on Epic Living TV at YouTube. Just a reminder that my beautiful channeled books can be purchased on my website, www.angelhealinghouse.com, or Amazon. And everyone, please do remember, until next time, allow your absolutely beautiful, radiant, magnificent light to shine forth on the planet, and go out and fashion a beautiful life for yourself. Love, and as always, angel blessings. And I look so forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care. Bye.